Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another week of Coveys Grassroots show. How are we doing? In fact, how are we doing, Covey, man?
I'm good, mate. You always forget about me, don't you?
I always forget about me. I always instantly talking to the audience, man. But how can I forget you, bro? How are you doing?
I'm all right. I'm having to come live from work tonight. I'm on nights tonight, so I look like I'm in the Sky Sports studios. I look like I know what I'm doing. But...
This looks like it's going to be a bit of a long one for you doing this one as well. So yeah, but yeah, I'm all good, man. Off the back of watching a good Newcastle performance. Oh yeah, by the way, thank you for your boy Joe Willock. By the way,
I told you about him though, didn't I? I told you about Willock. Told you, mate.
Well, there you go. This is what we needed. We needed someone who can, arrive late into the box, get a goal or two. Didn't think he would get his goal straight away, but
How right though? I haven't seen the game. Did he play well?
Yeah. Listen, we went down. We ended up with like 9 men in the end. We had Jeff Hendricks sent off, and we had a player injured as well. Made all of our subs. So yeah, it's hard to judge him on that. But when we was at 11, he was good. He was running the show, doing what he needed to do. Got a goal early on, and already he's made an improvement in that midfield area. So yeah, happy days, mate. Happy days.
Him and Maximus was good, wasn't they? Is it Maximus his name?
Maximum. You sound like Paul Merson then. Paul Merson.
He mucked up as well, didn't he? I heard about saying that.
So St. Maximin, like he always is like, congratulations to our 2 new players, Joe Willock and Sam Maximus. And he's actually changed it on his Twitter bio as well. So fair play for taking it like that. But he's welcome back into the team, contributed to 2 goals as well. Nikki looked all right as well, Almiron. So, yeah, happy days, man. I'm all good. I'm smiling. But, I don't know if you'll be smiling all right with your...
Mate, I just, you know what, it's madness. I said about it earlier and I got a few replies to it, but I would hate to play up front for Arsenal.
Yeah.
You don't know whether you're coming or going. You can't make a run. You can't make a run and know that ball's going to be put through to you like before.
Yeah.
Like when Bergkamp and Lundberg and Parlo and we had in Vieira, they used to, and Overmars and Perez, you'd slide the ball, you'd know that ball was coming.
Yeah.
Perez, Pepe does like wants to do 1 million dragbacks and 35,000 like kick-ups. It's mental, mate. The thing is, he looks like he's trying. At least he's trying now. The last few games, he looks like he looks a better player, to be honest. And then they bring Willian on, and I just don't get it with Willian because he was a good player at Chelsea. I never used to watch Chelsea a lot, but I always used to think Willian's not bad. You know what I mean?
He's just happy to stay in London, mate. He's just happy to stay in London, nick a 3 or 4 year contract or wherever he's got, and get some minutes under his belt. That's all it is. It's just his last hurrah. He doesn't really care, does he?
That's what we've turned into now, isn't it, Arsenal? They've just turned into like some easy paycheck. That's
what it seems like to me, because I'm just listening to the boys ranting on AFTV, and it's like the main talking point is why bring on Willian when we had, I don't know, whoever you had on the bench, but that's what it seems to be. So, yeah, maybe you could have done with Joe Willock today, but thankfully he's ours for the next 6 months or so. So, happy days. Got to say good evening to people listening so far. Thank you, Peter, and thank you, Robbie, as well.
Hopefully Peter don't make up no songs about me tonight.
Oh, yeah. Oh, gosh.
Oh, man.
That was jokes. I'm not going to lie. That was quite funny.
I'm on a diet now because of that. Because of him.
See what he done to him, Peter, man. Now he's had to ditch all the hobnobs and now he's been eating lettuce and stuff. So
I've been on a strict diet this week. I've slimmed down to only slightly morbid obese. I've slimmed right down to morbidly obese.
See what he done to Peter? Look, Peter's laughing as well. Look, you can't do that, man. Look, he said he's here to help. Yeah, right, man. Yeah, right.
The thing is with Pete, I'm good pals with his wife, so that's how we know each other. So I've known his wife for a very long time, and his wife will tell him off if he keeps bullying me. I'll tell him off.
Oh man, but look, today's show, looking forward to it as always. Got some really good guests on. Talk us through the guests that we got on coming for tonight.
Mate, the first one needs a little introduction. He's currently on You can see him on Sky Store, Amazon Prime at the moment. The Unknown Torres, which is Sergio Torres. I ain't going to give too much away because his story is unreal. So we'll let him tell everyone. Then we've got Nikki Waterman coming on, the ex-Maidstone captain. She's got a very good story as well. And then Aaron Bufton as well at the end, goalkeeper extraordinaire, coming on. So it'll be interesting to speak to him as well. I wanted to get him on for a little while. So
wicked.
Another 3 good guests.
Another 3 good guests for a really good show tonight. And it's not every day that we have, a superstar with his own documentary out on Amazon Prime, is it? This is the caliber guest that we're putting in now as well, isn't it?
Paul Torres as well.
There we go. So play like Fernando.
Well, different position, but he was a player. He was definitely a player.
Okay. Well, luckily, before he comes on, we've got just a little clip of the documentary that he's got. So we're going to play that. So let's just watch that.
Yeah. We all have dreams. I think a lot of people thought I was crazy. I don't speak English. My only word was only hello, and I'm from Argentina. I have just a little bit of hope.
No sabía el idioma. Money. Zero.
Thousands of miles away from my family and friends.
Hello.
Slow memories. With nothing more than a dream, your life can change forever.
What's required is a fierce desire to say that's my dream and I'm going to go for it.
You have to follow your dreams. You don't need to wait.
It's Torres!
You don't want to spend the rest of your life wondering about what might have been if you'd given it a go or tried a bit harder. But Sergio takes that to a whole different level.
My mattress used to be right here.
So how did Sergio Torres pursue his dream?
All these dreams, yeah, I want to believe that all these things I've done in my life.
You ready? Yeah.
Wow, it's giving me goosebumps there. I want to get out and start playing now.
Yeah, same. I'm buzzing for this.
Right, should we get him in then?
Yeah.
All right then. He's waiting backstage. Here we go. Mr. Torres.
Yeah, there he is.
Hi guys.
Thank you for coming on.
No problem. Can you hear me? Can you see me okay? Yeah.
Yeah, we can see. Move over a little bit so we can see you. No, that's it. Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
There we are. Good job you haven't got that big long blonde hair anymore.
I know, but it's still quite big, to be fair, mate. It's still quite it's a lot of curls in there.
How's your day been, Sergio? You've been coaching today?
Yeah, no, we had a game. I'm
No way.
Oh, we lost you.
Oh, Sergio, I think we might have lost you. Just our luck. Oh dear. Right, well, we're moving for now. Hopefully he might sort out his internet connection. He's actually frozen still.
I'll text him now.
Okay. But shout out to Carol. Oh, I think he's back now. You back with us?
Hello,
yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, you froze. You was that?
Sorry, guys. Yeah, I don't know what. The internet is always the internet's fault.
Always the internet. Yeah. How are you doing anyway? You good?
So, yeah, no, we had a game and we won 3-2. So, yeah.
Oh, no way.
Should I go to another room?
Yeah, Sergio, go to another room, man. It might be, just go closer to the router. The internet thing.
2 seconds.
All right, cool.
I'll be back.
whilst the sorts out his internet connection, and we can talk about.
We're going to go into extra time tonight now, so just be warned.
I think so. Hopefully that's not going to be too much of a technical issue. But shout out to Carol Bates as well, who said, just watched a clip of myself on your show. And good evening to you, James, as well. And good evening to Sergio, who will be joining us very, very shortly when he sorts out his internet connection, which I think he's done it now.
Is that better?
Right. Yeah. Take 3. Let's see how this goes.
Wait. Let me close the door. I don't want the kids running.
I thought you'd moved back into them digs.
No, that's long time gone. That.
About the game today.
Sorry.
Tell us about the game today. You won.
Yeah, no, it was like I said. It's we feel like we are one of the lucky ones, to still non-league, but we're still playing football, and we had suspension for 2 weeks, and we still don't know what's going to happen with the league. There is a vote in 3 weeks' time. We're going to decide. I really hope that we can continue because I don't know. Lockdown has been so hard for everyone, and for us, it's like an escape, and then like we got something to look forward to, and then it's like you said, like mental health as well for the players and everyone involved with the club. So yeah, and on top of that, we won. So it's always better when the results go your way. You enjoy the weekend. It's crazy how a result can affect your weekend.
Oh yeah, trust me. I mean, many a weekend I've been here with Covey and I'm down in the dumps because Newcastle have lost and Arsenal have won. But this time it's in reverse. Newcastle won a game, Arsenal have lost again. I'm smiling. He's gutted. He's at work in the morning. So yeah, happy days.
Brilliant. Sergio's keeping me sane. So Sergio, okay, thank you so much for coming on. I've been buzzing since. Special thanks to Tufts as well for putting us in touch. What a legend he is. He was on the show a few weeks ago.
I never met him face to face.
Haven't you?
No, I just we're doing the UEFA A license together.
Yeah,
and that's how basically we've been in the same group, and then that's how we got talking, and then we talk pretty much every day now. He's such a funny guy.
Have you actually done any talking yet, or has it just been all him?
He does a lot of talking about issues. It made me laugh.
Voice notes. He likes a voice note, doesn't he?
Yeah.
So, Sergio, you was playing non-league football back in Argentina. Your family had their own brick making company. You wasn't struggling, but you had a dream to become a professional footballer. And I know you've said before that if you get to like 2021 in Argentina and you're not at a pro club, then there's pretty much no hope for you ever becoming a pro in that country. So for you to follow your dream, it was either you wanted to come to Europe, so there was Spain, Italy, and England. So I'll let you take over from the plane over to England.
Yeah, it's a long story. That's why we put it into the movie, and then I'm so glad that we managed to do it because I wrote it in a book before, and then a lot of people say, "What don't you? Your story is quite inspirational. Like it can help many kids who are coming out, about when they get in the first pro contract or they get released. They've been in the academy and they get released, and it's I had so many knockdowns, and then basically so many times I went on trial and they said, no, you're not good enough. First because I was little, then I was not quick or not strong enough when I came to England, which was what happened. And I remember the manager was Mark McGee. He was I came on trial to Brighton, and he was spot on what he said. Like I wasn't quick or I wasn't strong enough for the English football. And then I realized that, right, if I want to stay here, if I want to try to pursue my dream, I need to work on that. So for about 2 months, I was just working on my own, doing the stuff. And then luckily, I started playing a team called Moseley, which is in the Ryman Prem. And then, from there, 2 or 3 months, went to Basingstoke in the Conference South, a year and a half. And my biggest, one of the best days I had in England, which was when I when I signed my first professional contract for Wycombe Wonders. So yeah, like I say, it's a long story, but hopefully putting it into the movie that people can, and kids especially, that it's not just football. We try to do the movie like it's not just football. Like, that was my dream. Yeah. But if your dream is, I don't know, anything, what you really want to do, just go for it and try your best. That's the message behind the movie, because people who don't like football watch the movie and they really liked it as well because of the message. It's not just because of football was my passion or is my passion, but other people has got other dreams and just go for it. I have so many restrictions, like I said, but I'm a really close to my family. I'm a really family guy, and then I was 22 when I said to my mom and dad, I'm going, and my dad was really supporting. My mom not so much. My mom was like, you got everything here. You can work. Like basically, this company is going to be for you, and when you grow up, and then you got everything, your friends. But I was like, but I can't play football here. I can't play professional, so I need to try. And then I took it as well as the experience of life, like just thinking, right, I'm gonna go. My biggest issue was the language, which I didn't think was gonna be that hard, and then it was very hard. But it was like I say, it was a long story.
Yeah, so then I know obviously we're called the Grassroots show, so there's going to be an element of the non-league players that watch, and players that people that have watched that have played in non-league as well, that have gone through similar sort of circumstances. So if we just take it back just a little bit back to Moseley, when you signed for Moseley, and it turned out they offered you, was it 150 a week, and then they never ended up paying you?
Yeah, right? Yo, you know the story better than me, mate.
Yeah, well, I've done my research. But it's relevant. It's relevant to the viewers because I've been there. I think we've all been there really when we've been promised X, Y, and Z, and it's never materialised. The gaffer comes in after you've won 3 games. Oh, sorry, boys, the chairman's pulled the money, or we ain't got no money to pay you, and So it happens. It just shows you that it happens all the time.
No, it was exactly how you said. It was actually I was with I met up with another Argentinian, Christian, who he was on trial here as well. We used to play together in Argentina, and somehow we haven't spoke for about 3 years, and we got contacted here in London.
Wow.
That was pure like coincidence. Basically, my mom back home in Argentina bumped into his mom and then said, where is Sergio? And started talking. I said, yeah, he's in England. And then we're both in England. We didn't know. And then so I contacted Christian, and then he said, well, you can come and my agent is an Argentinian agent and he can help you, because at the time was when I was living with this, I don't know if you read about it, the Cameroonian agent.
Yeah.
That was my first night in England. I don't really want to talk about it, but that was one of probably
save that for the movie. We'll let the viewers.
No. My first few days in England, So basically, I end up leaving the Cameroonian agent when basically, I had an argument, and then basically I was on the street, and then Christian said, "Come with me." So me and Christian, we started traveling together, and Moseley was the first club. And it's like you say, they offered £150. We were so happy. It's the first money we're going to get. And then we played 2 months and they couldn't pay us. To be fair, the manager at the time, he was really, really nice. And he said, look, guys, like you're too good for this level. And then you won't get paid here. So I spoke to Basingstoke and they happy to take you on. So on a Thursday, I remember, we went to Basingstoke. We trained for half an hour in the middle of a park. It was so dark, I couldn't see anything. And then on the Saturday, they had a few injuries. We signed on the Thursday, and then on Saturday, we won 3-0. Christian come on and score, and I start the game, and then I got man of the match. And that first game, that was the first proper game for Basingstoke Town, which is it's like how basically destiny, put you through your way. And but I was really thankful to the manager at Moseley, because he was honest, and he said, look, guys, we won't be able to pay you, not even £50, so you better go somewhere else.
Who was the manager at Basingstoke when you was there? Because it's good to give him a shout out as well.
Ernie Howe.
Yeah,
he was there for a few years. He was to be fair, the the first time we spoke, and then the team talks, it was funny as well. I did not understand one word what he was saying. Only the F word. Only the F word was the one that every 3 or 4 words he was mentioning that. So I was like,
and is it true that there was you didn't have obviously you were still looking for somewhere to live, and a couple of Basingstoke supporters, John and Mimi, the supporters, let you live in the house?
Yeah, no, that's again crazy people. I'm still to today one of my best friends. Our best friends. We became part of the family. It's crazy. John is massive Basingstoke fan, and then all of a sudden he said to his wife, "I'm bringing 2 Argentinians." Honestly, that first day when we walked through the door and she was sitting in the sofa there, we were like. But after about 2 days, honestly, they were like our mom and dad here, and just that's something. I go back home and then explain to my friends and my family and. It's just crazy people. How much help I had in my career to where I was, and I'm so grateful. And that's why when I had the chance to giving something back to all these people who helped me, for example, the supervisor at Boots. I worked in Boots there when I was at Basingstoke, and he was a massive football fan. And thanks to him, well, my English, my accent is never going to go away, but I improved my English by talking to him every day. He used to speak about football for about an hour. Instead of working, I was like talking to the supervisor. And I was kind of pleased that I could repay them when we play at Old Trafford with Crawley in the FA Cup. But, I invite them all of them. I think it cost me a lot of money that game because I had to buy about 11, 12 tickets. But, it was like a little part of me saying thank you to all these people who helped me.
I think we might have skipped over one, but how did you end up at Wycombe? Because Wycombe's not too far from me. How did you end up there? Because I know there's a story behind that as well.
Yeah, no, we play a friendly. When I was at Basingstoke, we played a friendly against Wycombe Wanderers. They were in League 2 at the time. John Gorman was the manager. And I remember before the game, I was looking at the team sheet, and the boys, my teammates, were talking about Rob Lee, like he played for Newcastle, a legend there, and they had Tommy Mooney. They had quite few big players, and I remember I was playing just right next to Rob Lee, and the manager said basically just get around him. He's the one who made them play. And then yeah, I played actually. I did okay and nothing special. We lost the game 7-2, so I probably didn't play that well. No, I was looking at the players and I was looking, I don't know, at the shirt, and I remember looking at them and thinking, oh my God, I would love to be where these guys are. How good will it be to train every day, to be professional, and then the next day the manager John Gorman called my manager and said they like me, and then they invite me on trial if I wanted to go. So yeah, I was just over the moon, I was on trial for about 4 weeks. It was the longest trial of my life. The season started and I was playing pre-season. I was playing for Basingstoke in the league, Conference South, and then training with Wycombe, and then came to end of August. And I remember I was talking to my teammate and said, surely you need to sign. And John Gorman didn't say anything. And then he signed me just a few days before the window closed. And it was just, like I said, I was 24 at the time, which is quite late for a footballer to sign your first professional contract. 24 is, it's not. It doesn't happen that often. And I was so thankful that he gave me the opportunity. And I don't know, from going to play at Basingstoke, 500 people, to Wycombe Wanderers was about 7,000-8,000 playing at Adams Park in massive stadium. It was like, wow, I made it,
Wow, that's an amazing story in itself, man. Just that alone, man. Just going from one side of the spectrum to the other.
Crazy. And I didn't tell you, but another funny story when I was at Basingstoke is this family, John and Mimi, they had family coming from France because she was from France, and then we couldn't stay with Chris for a lot longer. So there was only 3 months left to the season, and I remember the manager Ernie said, "Look, boys, if you want, you can stay in the boardroom." I said, "We can put some mattress on the floor, and and you don't have to pay any rent, anything. I was like, me and Chris was like, well, yeah, we take it, you know. So yeah, we just put some mattress on the floor. It was so funny because the day of the game, of course, all the chairmen from both clubs get together in the boardroom. We had to hide everything, all our clothes, all our luggage, and just behind this little corner and clean everything. And then we lived there for 3 months, and it was just amazing. Now it's a funny story, but at the time, we were happy. You know, we didn't have to pay rent, so we can save a little bit of money to pay the plane to go back home and see our families when the season finished. That was a funny story.
This is why non-league football is undefeated, because it just doesn't happen. That would never happen anywhere. Can you imagine in the pro game?
Nah.
Harry Kane and his son just going to sleep in the boardroom for 2 weeks.
You know, it make you. I think it make you hard and tough mentally as well. I love the non-league. I've been, you know, I started non-league. I'm now in non-league. I finished my career. I played 6 years after I retired from professional game when I was 33. I played until last year in non-league. I just love how pure the game is, and you know, you go to these stadiums and the players, you know, some players have £50 a week, £100 a week, and they give everything.
Yeah.
And then especially like midweek games are so tough because the next day you need to wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning and then go to work. Yeah. And then you don't realize that when you watch him play and you hear the people shouting and all that, screaming, oh, he's rubbish, blah blah. But they don't, you know, these players are here. You know, they're giving everything, and they just love the game, and they're not doing it for the money. So I just love the non-league, and I'm really pleased when I see players making it from non-league to because it's honestly, I've been involved in many years, and I see so many good players at this level that they should deserve. They should be playing higher.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question? I probably should ask it earlier, but why did you choose England? Because obviously you're coming from Argentina, speaking Spanish in that country. You could have picked Spain, obviously easier to kind of grasp the language. And I noticed in that video that we played earlier, the first thing that you was trying to grasp was obviously the English language. So surely it would have been an easier thing just to go, I'll go to Spain, or I'll go to Italy, which is kind of similar in language. But you chose England out of the 3 options. Why England?
Exactly the same question you're asking me. I asked my agent when he told me to come to England. When he said, you're going to England. And then I remember I asked exactly the same question. I really want to come to Europe, but I say, why not Spain? Like, why not Italy? I say, you know, I got Italian passport. My grandmother was Italian.
See?
Yeah. So Italian was a bit similar to Spanish. You know, it's a language where many Argentinian players go to Italy and Spain. And then he said, just because the way you play, your style, I think it will suit the English football. That's all he said. And then you know, I was like, okay. And then, so that's why we sent a video of me, and then this Cameroonian agent sent it to a few clubs, and Brighton, Mark McGee, so he liked what he saw in the video, and then that's why he invited me. And basically, all my saving was for that plane ticket, you know. And like you said, there weren't many Argentinian. I didn't come across in the lower leagues in the English football many Argentinian players. But I've been 17 years now, so yeah, I'm a bit English now.
and you had some fantastic experiences at obviously at Crawley. That was the main ones, but you also had an unreal experience with Wycombe. You got, what was it, the semi-final of the Carling Cup?
Yeah,
against Chelsea.
Unbelievable. It was the Chelsea, the 2007 when they were winning everything.
Michael Ballack and Lampard.
Yeah, Ballack, Drogba, Shevchenko, Makelele, SCN, Ashley Cole. Well, every single player. It was, and I was injured for about 3 months before that game, before the first leg. And then I remember we beat Fulham, we were in the Premier League, I think, and then we beat Charlton as well. And it was like we were all of a sudden, Wycombe was in the semi-final, and it was Spurs, Arsenal and Chelsea, the 3 teams. So, you know, any of them teams, like we were just over the moon. And then, I remember I started training. It was the 1st of January where I started training after 3 months. And the first leg was on the 10th of January at Wycombe. And then I said, I remember I want to be on the bench. But, of course, I haven't played for a long time. And Paul Lambert was the manager. And then And then I couldn't believe when he put my shirt. I was on the bench for that game. It was just, like I say, over the moon. And then I came on with 10 minutes to go. We're losing 1-0 the first leg, and we score. We drew 1-1 the first game, and no one could believe it. Wycombe, the stadium was packed. They mixed it. They didn't play the full strength, but still, Lampard came on. Makelele played, like Ballack. So the second leg was 2 weeks after, and again I was on the bench at Stamford Bridge, and I came on half an hour to go. We were 2-0 down. We lost 4-0, but the experience is just, especially for someone like me, like I was playing non-league like less than 2 years before, a year before, and now all of a sudden I'm here in this 42,000 stadium. It was around Christmas time, so my family came for Christmas. So it was my mom and dad there. And I remember at one point that the ball stopped, was an injury or something. I just turned around, and then I had Drogba and Shevchenko, I had Ballack, Makelele, Lampard next to me. And I was like, what am I doing here? Honestly, this was 2007. So in 2006, they were all in the Germany World Cup. And I'm thinking, all these players, like, nearly all of the team were captains in the clubs. Like Drogba was the captain, Ivory Coast, Shevchenko in Ukraine, Makelele was of France, I think. And I was like, when you want that moment to be stopped. And then I just didn't want to leave that pitch. And then straight away, I don't know, I put it, so it was a funny story. Their third goal, it was my fault, but at the time, it was a corner get clear, and then at the edge of the box, I don't know, the ball bounced, and I see someone running so quick, so I just flick it over his head, and I'm laughing as I'm turning around. It's Drogba, like on the floor, basically trip, and I'm turning around, and then I didn't see Shevchenko coming from behind. Shevchenko cleared the ball of me, and Lampard ran 1v1, and he scored. Oh no, I was just laughing at that. I put it over Drogba's head, and then we just gave the ball away. But at that point, it was 3-0 down. I didn't care. But yeah, that was an amazing experience. I finished the game, and I said to my dad, I remember, that's it. Like wherever comes now, I'm done. Football game. And he was like, "Don't be silly. This should be giving you more strength. This is the starter for you." So yeah, no, football's been really kind to me.
Would you say that's like your best experience? Surely, like up against all of those.
Yeah, probably playing against stars, like you say, like best players at the time. They were amazing. This team, I was so impressed. Well, Drogba was probably the best player I played against, and Lampard. But then a few years later, in 2011, when I was at Crawley, we reached the 5th round of the FA Cup, and again, I didn't think it was going to happen to me again, that be playing in a bigger stadium and we play at Old Trafford. That was the other occasion where, again, like Rooney, you got Michael Carrick, like players like that, which you see on TV every week, and then you go, wow. And yeah, Old Trafford is the biggest pitch I've ever been on. I can't believe it. I was used to playing, it's quite a small tie, like non-league. We were in the conference at the time. And yeah, I think I got cramp after 70 minutes of that game.
Yeah, so from Wycombe, you ended up going to Peterborough, was it? From Darren Ferguson signed you, and it didn't really go as well as you'd hoped. There, you got a couple of injuries, played you out of position. So that was you was at a turning point there, wasn't you? You was thinking about going back home again, and
yeah, it was so weird. I didn't want to leave Wycombe. It was 3 years at Wycombe where we made the playoff, and then we nearly got promoted, and then Peter just got promoted. Darren Ferguson, they play against us, and then they bought me and Russell Martin together, and in a deal. And they were, I always say to myself, I'm going to stay true to myself. I'm going to try to play as high as I can. And that they were in League One and Wycombe was in League Two. So I thought I want to really, test myself and then hopefully, play higher. Yeah. But it's like you said, I came with I had an operation in my ankle when I signed. And then it's just I never done a preseason. And then started playing. He played me right wing. I never really I'm not a winger. I'm not, that quick. I normally play. If I play on the wing, I normally play like tag team. I never go on the outside or centre mid. and it's just I don't know. I was missing Wycombe. Like I say, I wasn't playing very well when I played, and then all of a sudden I got another injury, and after that the manager just kind of put me to the side, and I couldn't deal with that, like, mentally. I was I never felt like that. I was even scared of touching the ball. I was scared of going to training. I didn't want to go to training. It never happened in my career. That's why I thought, you know, it might be time for me to go back home. Like, I'm not enjoying it. I'm not enjoying it one bit.
Yeah.
And it's so hard once your head start going against you. You know, I never experienced something like that. And then I remember talking to a sports psychologist and saying, you know, am I the only one who feels that? He said, don't, you know, you got no idea. He said, I treat with players in the Premier League who are like that, who are afraid of training, afraid of the ball, afraid of stuff like that. But he said, no, you just, I'm going to help you, and then, you know, you're going to get through it. And then that happened. That year, it was such a successful team. Like, we ended up getting promoted from League One to the Championship. And what I was celebrating, but you know, when you don't feel, I play only about 20 games, so I wasn't feeling really part of it. But I went away, and then I said to myself, I'm going to do a good preseason, and I done a really good preseason. And then by this point, why I end up staying is why it's my wife now today. It was my girlfriend at the time. She was living in Germany. I met her, and that was another funny story. How I met my wife. She was living in Germany. We went on preseason tour with Wycombe, because Paul Lambert used to play for Borussia Dortmund.
Yeah.
So he took us there for a week, and then she was working in the hotel. And that's how crazy, not just football, not just gave me this. Now it's my wife. I got two beautiful girls. So I was always so thankful to football. And at the time, she said, look, I'm moving to England. I'm moving with you. So, you know, you don't go back home, basically. And she moved back. And then she was a big part of why I ended up staying in England. And then, like I say, in the Championship, I didn't have the manager didn't play me, so I went on loan to Lincoln City, and that was the best decision I made. I needed to have a change of scenery, change of manager, change of teammates, and that really helped me, like, mentally, especially. Which I would recommend to anyone. You know, once you're feeling low or things are not going well, just, you know, completely change. So that was a good decision by me.
Yeah. And then the big move came. It's weird to call it a big move. It's the move that sort of projected you into sort of Old Trafford, 5th round of the FA Cup, and not only once but twice. But to reach that pinnacle, you dropped from Championship. I think it was to Conference. Yeah, so you went from professional in the Championship to non-league football. And who was the manager then? Steve
Evans.
Steve Evans. Yeah, he must have had. That must have been some phone call.
It was very difficult, like you said at the time, because that year we ended up getting relegated to League One, and I still have 1 year in my contract. And Gary Johnson was the manager. He came in, and then he didn't even see me play. He pulled me in the office. He said, "Look, you got a year left on your contract, but you're not going to play. So basically, look for a club." And as much as you like honesty in managers and that, I thought, you know, I said to him, "You haven't seen me play. Give me a chance." I go another year, and he was like, "No, I see you play before. You're not my type of player, blah blah." So basically, yeah, or if I wanted, I could sit there and then playing with the youth team, train with the youth. But I had enough. I wanted to play football, and I only had Lincoln City at the time we were in League Two, and then Crawley, which was Steve Evans. And Steve, I heard many stories about Steve before, and then a lot of people say don't play for him. Like he's a nightmare, blah blah. He's crazy. And then I met him, and then I remember I was like, why is people talking about him? He's the nicest guy, and he was so nice, and he convinced me, like he was putting together a team that basically to get promoted. And then his dream was, his idea was in 2 years to be in League One. And then I look at the names that people he was signing, and I spoke to my mate Russell Martin, and then he lives in Brighton. He's from Brighton, and then he said, "Serge, you can live in Brighton, which is about 20 minutes from Crawley. It's a beautiful place." And then it was in 2010, I think it was, when I made the move, and it was probably the best decision I made. It was so hard mentally to drop from. It took me a few months to get used to, in my head, basically, right, you're not in League One anymore, you're not in the Championship, you're not playing in this amazing stadium, you're in the Conference again, going back to non-league. But because I'd been there before, I kind of knew it, the style, and then like I said, it was the best decision. We ended up the first year we got 5th round of the FA Cup, away to Old Trafford, biggest game of my career, and then back-to-back promotion. So in 2 years we were in League One, which and I was living in Brighton, a beautiful place where I'm still here today. You know, it's I moved with my family, and it's been over 10 years, 11 years now living here. Was a great decision. Steve was he was brilliant with me. He was an absolutely character. The day of the game, he was going absolutely crazy. The stuff I seen him do in the dressing room, you know, just shouting to people and shouting in your face, and basically you just need to take it. I see people absolutely crumble. Basically, didn't want to touch the ball, and then for other people didn't. I think because I've been through quite a lot mentally, I kind of, I don't know, blocked it, knew how to block it, and then, but the day to day, he was absolutely brilliant, and then he was, you know, asking for your family, and he was such a nice guy. But just the day of the game, he was completely nutter. But like I said, he played me every game, and I really enjoy it.
And you go down in history of that club as well with your the 90th minute winner. Was that in the third round? Was that the third round or the fourth?
Yeah, that was the third round. Yeah.
Derby. I always, you know what? When I watched that video back, I remember actually watching it that day, because the commentary after Torres, you know, and you smash it in and you run, and it just when you watch that back, it sort of brings back memories, and I do actually remember that time, that period.
Wow,
so
it was
unbelievable.
It was on TV that day. It was rainy. It was a proper cup tie, like rainy, windy. The windy was going all directions. And of course, Derby was in the Championship. You know, they had few good players. Of course, Robbie Savage was there in the midfield, and I was the player who went to Celtic after straight away. I think the week after he went to Celtic. Number 10, left foot. Well, I can't remember now. Well, anyway, 2 minutes into the game, I honestly went side to side with him on the side of the pitch, and then I didn't mean to do it, but I went side to side, and then I knocked him over the thingy. And then I remember everyone was like, right. He went over the side, and then he got the physio back in. So everyone was like, welcome to Crawley, you know, welcome to non-league. He missed a pen. After 5 minutes after, they got a penalty.
Wow.
And Michael Capper, he saved the pen. And then, the game was 1-1. I was playing rubbish. I was so bad that game. And it's one of the things, I was about to come off, 20 minutes to go, and one of my teammates gone down with cramp, the other kind of guy in the middle. So the manager, basically, I had my number there. I see my number, so coming up. And then he decided to change the other guy because he was getting cramp. And then, in the last minute, this corner kick came, like I said, was not prepared. He absolutely shanked it. I didn't expect the ball to come here. And then when I see the ball coming, I was like, just keep it on target, keep it low. And then he went for about 3 or 4 people. The next 30 seconds, the best feeling I ever had on a football pitch. You cannot compare it, basically. All your teammates coming, running on top of you, and the fans walk on the pitch. It was just, every time I watch it back, this goal, even now, I watch it 100 times, and it gives me a bit of goosebumps, you know.
The commentary is amazing. For you to scream out your name like that. What you dream for? When you're a kid playing football over the park, and you hit one, that's what you do. You scream your name, and that's how the commentator done it. It was perfection. Perfection.
It was just like I say, that happens once if you like in your career, and then I was lucky to have that moment. And even after the game, all the fans came on the pitch, and I was on the pitch for about 5 minutes. Everyone on the dressing room waiting for me. I had to do an interview for ESPN. I'm nearly in tears. And then it was just, football gave me so much. I've been so lucky. You know, I never got to play in the Premier League. Of course, that's would have been another dream. But I think I think I've been, a bit, like I said, football has been really kind to me considering when I started.
So just quickly, when you obviously you beat Derby, then you went on to play against Torquay. We won't talk about that one. That's boring. 1-0 away, one man. So then you're out. I think was you out with your wife and you walked past a TV rental shop.
Nah, it was crazy. We were in Primark, and then I promised her, I don't know, a few days before that we're gonna go shopping on the Sunday. I don't know why. And then I remember I wanted to get on my phone, but back then the phone wasn't that good, and the internet and I couldn't see the draw. So I said to her, "Look, I'll be 2 seconds. I need to watch the draw." So I just ran down from Primark to the road, and then I was like, "Where can I watch it?" And then across the road, I see a TV shop, and I went in there, and the guy was like, "Look at every channel," and no one was playing like BBC. So I said to the owner of the thing, I said, "Would you mind to change the channel to BBC, please?" And he was like, "Why?" And I said, "Well, FA Cup draw is there." And then I say, I play for Crawley, and I played yesterday, and we're still in the draw. And he was like, "Oh, yeah, I heard that you won, blah, blah." So anyway, change the channel, and it's there. And then all the balls are coming out. And by this point, it's about 8 people next to me, everyone watching it. And the guy is still watching it next to me. And then I was like, I think it was number 1. There were not many teams left. And then he said, I think number 1, Crawley Town, Old Trafford, and just jumping, cuddling with this guy. He was like, "Oh my God, I can't believe it." I started shouting, screaming. I ran out to the road and called my dad straight away. I said, "Look, I know you've just been for Christmas here, but I said, you need to come back." I said, "You never see you play son at Old Trafford ever. So this is one in a lifetime." And my dad with his best mate and my cousin, they took a plane. They came for a week, like in February when it was the game, which and they showed it live in Argentina as well, that game. So all my family and my friends got to see, and it's just like I said, it's once in a lifetime if you're lucky to get to play in a stadium like that. And I was lucky enough that I had two of them.
Your story was definitely built for a film, wasn't it? What do you think, Clint?
Definitely, man, definitely. I'm just sitting back in awe. Like, not only you played against Drogba and all these guys, but you played at Old Trafford as well. Like, you pretty much completed it. There.
Like I say, I consider myself lucky because many non-league players, didn't have the chance to where I was, or to play against teams like that. But it's like you said. Now watching it back, it's like these moments. It made it all worth it. Like the first few months I spent in England was the hardest in my life. I even thought at one point I was going to get killed. In one episode in South London with this agent, which I'm not going to tell you about. It's a longer story. Like, and then I remember crying after, and I was like, I'm going home. I'm going back home. And then I didn't tell my family until about 4 years later about what happened. But I think all this built me to be like the strength inside me to even achieve my dream of being a professional, of just playing football every day, what I wanted to do when I was a kid. And I couldn't do it back home. And I wanted to do it back home. But, they say, I went on trial to all 3 different classes when I was 18, 19, which is a good age. And they said, you're not good enough. So it's hard. And I always say to kids, football is a game of opinion. And then if you really want enough, and then it's going to be, I have managers where they didn't even see me play, and they said, I'm not going to play you. Like, you're not fitting my style, you're not good enough. And I have other managers who absolutely love me and play me every game. So I always said that, football is a game of opinions. After Steve Evans left, we were in League One, Barker came in, completely, absolutely pie me. And then I was like, I didn't understand. And the fans were singing my name. And he didn't like that the fans were singing my name, for example. You get managers like that. You get managers who like to be all about them and not about the players. And so it's really hard mentally. It's a roller coaster. Football is a roller coaster of emotions. So when you're up there, you just need to enjoy these moments. And like I said, I'm so pleased I made that decision to stay in England and try for my dream.
Yeah. And we're going to obviously the movie's coming out. Well, it's not coming out, it's out. and we don't want to obviously give it all away because no one will download it. They'll just watch this. There's a lot. There's so much more that goes on. Previous as well. I know about. You speak about the Cameroonian agent and what happened there. You got through to the 5th round of the FA Cup again the following year. So your story, and I know it's a shame that we've only got you for a short amount of time. We could speak about your story for hours and hours, and I'm sure the viewers would not get bored of it. It's just an amazing story, and we thank you so much for coming on and sharing it briefly with us. And just for the viewers that are watching, or the ones that are going to watch this back, you can you go on Amazon Prime and you download the Unknown Torres, or you go onto Sky Store and you can watch it there. And it's just amazing. I'm hooked. As soon as Tufts mentioned you to me, and you start delving and looking into stuff, it's just unreal. It was made to be a movie.
No, I really appreciate it. And how it came to be a movie as well is another story. That I didn't have the money. People think you play League One, League Two, you made a lot of money. When I stepped playing professional, I had to go. I was working in an office 8 to 5. I started playing for Wycombe in Conference South again when I was 33, and then I went back. I was working. The owner offered me a job in the office, and you don't make that much money that you think you made it. It's just this perception that people's got that you play in League One, League Two, and then you made it. No, it's not like that. So how the movie came about is this guy from Holland, 22 years old. His dream was to make a movie, and he watched me play at Crawley one game. Didn't even know who I was. Didn't know my story at all. And then he started knowing why is people talking about, why are they shouting his name? Who is this guy? Started to get, and he said, my first movie, is going to be, about him. And he started to know my story. He contacted me through email, to my work email, and he's done it through his basically his dissertation for his studies. And then again, like I said, you don't have the money. I don't have the money. How are we going to buy the camera? So we done a kick funding. How is it? Crowdfunding. Yeah, we're thinking how much money we need. I don't know. We need to fly to Argentina. We need a few cameras, which cost quite a bit of money. So we say £9,000. I'm thinking, no way people are going to donate. We're going to get £9,000. And then within 3 weeks, we got it. And they were like, all the people, fans from Wycombe, Crawley, and then people who just helped me, like friends. And so we managed to do it. But the whole movie, you see it there. You watch a movie and you probably think there is a crew behind. And it's just me and him. The whole movie, just driving everywhere, just putting the cameras, taking the goals at Crawley. We had to put the goals. The goals were not on the pitch. We had to put the goals. So it's just, that is a story of himself. But his dream came true by making a movie, and that's what it's all about. Like, the whole story is about just follow your dreams.
Yeah, shout out to Jasper as well.
Yeah,
just before you go, Sergio, I know we get a lot of young non-league footballers watching. I know you had a dream, you followed it. What sort of advice would you give? Just follow your dream, go for your dream.
Exactly like that. Work hard. Especially in non-league, you train Tuesday and Thursday evenings, and you play on Saturdays. That's not enough. That's not enough. I used to train every single day, even twice a day when I had time. I used to be on my own. Like, well, now with all this lockdown, probably you have to do it on your own. But I used to just make aims, like have a watch, and then dribble through the plans and put the stuff in there, like improve my touch against the wall, trying to practice your weak foot. Like that's another advice I would give. If you don't have a weak foot, then you got more chances to progress, because it is a big advantage. And just like I said, just go for it. And then don't be afraid. Like, just send letters to clubs, send emails to clubs, asking for opportunities. That someone is going to be there, and it's going to, like I said, it's opinions. If you work hard enough, you're going to have more chances than not.
Yeah, 100%. Okay, mate. Well, thank you so much for coming on. It's amazing, and I can't wait for this whole movie to blow up and to get your rewards from it. So, well with that, and I wish you well with your UEFA A and your pro license and stuff, and your future career.
Nah, thank you guys. I really appreciate the time, and like I said, I'm just happy to tell the story, and if I can help one or two, people, like just to achieve the dreams. You know, I'm happy. We never done the movie to make money. Like we end up losing money. We got that 9,000 wasn't enough, so we had to pay money ourselves. But it's just the story is out there, and that's what all I wanted to do. Like just, you know, people know the story, and then also like you can see my family, and you know, like my dad. I'm really close to my dad, and then you can watch in the movie, and I think you can feel that emotion. Like it's about your family, how much they help you through as well.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Guys,
thank you for your time, Sergio, man. Appreciate your time, man. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, brother.
No worries. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, mate.
Ciao, ciao.
Bye-bye. Oh man, right. That's amazing story. Absolutely amazing story. Obviously we can't talk about it too much because we've got Nikki waiting in the wings, so we're gonna bring Nikki in, our next guest. Nikki, how you doing?
Hey guys, you right?
Yeah, I'm doing your hair in the background as well, so you make sure you're all right.
Yeah, I had to put it up properly.
Let's get you waiting, Nick. How you doing? You all right?
Yeah, I'm not too bad, thanks. I just had a lazy Saturday, so it's been quite nice actually.
No training today?
No, not today. We're meant to have. We've been training for the weekend, so I've got to get out and do a 5k run tomorrow, which I'm not looking forward to because I don't do long distances.
Oh, is it easy? Even I'm knocking them out of the park now. I'm doing one a day, and I couldn't run. Trust me, you'll be fine.
At the minute, you're obviously when we first met, you was at Maidstone. You left them now, and you're currently training with Stevenage. Is that right?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
And I just see the news this evening that the manager's just left as well. I just saw that. I bet
that was that went out in the group chat, and I never met Mark, so I wished him all the best and everything. But yeah, it's a shame that I never got to meet him actually.
Yeah. So, Nikki, tell us about your journey into ladies football or into football. Where did it all begin?
Well, I actually made some notes because normally I'm absolutely terrible at this stuff. I always forget something, so I made little notes in that. But I guess it kind of started when I was about 4 or 5, and it was kind of down to my older brother. I was born in '91, and I was born into a family with an older brother. He was 3 years older, and he was already football mad. And when I think it was on my 5th birthday, he just took me out in the garden and just stuck me in front of the goal and blasted the ball at me. So that's how I kind of started playing football, and that's how I started playing in goal as well. So I'd go training with him. He was at Fleet Down United, I think it was, in Stone. So I went to training with him about 2-3 years, I think it was. And then that's when I kind of realised that, oh yeah, like I love this game, you know, this is for me. And there was just something about the game, like every time I stepped on that pitch, just like everything just disappeared, you know, like I had all my issues, all my problems, like nothing, like the only thing that was important to me was the game. And yeah, so I was at Fleet Down until, I think I was there for, into 2005 was the first time I went into girls football, because when I got to the age of 13, that was the last time we were allowed to play with boys. And I was absolutely gutted because all through primary school and secondary school, I was the only girl in the team, and just absolutely loved it. But yeah, Cobra's Junior Football Club, I'm not too sure how that came about, but it was mostly all of us were at school together. And one of the parents' dads, he took over as manager, and I was there for 5 years. And we were unbeaten for 5 years. We won the league, we won the cups, won tournaments after tournaments, and it was such a great way to kind of begin my football career, I suppose.
Cool. And then, so we've spoke obviously offline. We had Julie Flatty on a little while ago, who also helped out with a mental health WhatsApp group that we set up. You was a part of that as well. And obviously, you're quite outspoken on the issues that you've faced in your past. So let's just touch on that. I know you're part of the More Than My Past now, and you had a big meeting with Tony Adams. Just tell us a little bit about that.
That came about when so when I was 16, I had a drink problem, and I kind of ruined my football career because of it. And I managed to play for Kent for 2 years, but there was just something about football that I just wasn't enjoying anymore. Like I had fun like going out playing with the girls and everything, but it just didn't do what I needed it to do. So that's when I lost my granddad when I was 16, and he took me to every game all over the country, even when he was having chemotherapy, even after he had an operation. We went to Northumberland once at like stupid o'clock in the morning for a game, and it was just horrific weather, but he was always at the sideline. And I think since he died, I kind of lost like the love with the game. So I started drinking, and my first drink was at his funeral, and I just enjoyed what it did, and it made me forget about things. It made me feel a bit more confident and kind of happy. So I slowly stopped playing football. I still carried on like going training and everything, but I was never saying, oh yeah, I can play on Sunday, because I was either too hungover or I just didn't even know where I was. I was in the middle of London somewhere. But yeah, my drinking just ruined my football career. And long story short, back in 2018, I got into some trouble, and I ended up getting sentenced to 16 months in prison. And there was loads of stories that I could tell you, all the war stories and everything, but you know, like everyone's heard them and stuff. But yeah, and I think for the first time, I was 26 when I got sentenced. For the first time in like 26 years, like I missed playing. I missed what it did and what it gave me, and just the thought of coming home after a game and being able to sleep well that night. But yeah, I woke up the next day and I was a bit confused, and I kind of looked around, and then I realised that I wasn't at home and that I was in prison. So that was a very scary thing to kind of wake up to and to realise.
Yeah. Wow. And do you think that speaking out as you have the last sort of year or two, I'll say two because the last year's just flown by, and
yeah, so fast.
Yeah. Do you think that speaking out has helped you, you know, with your past and your mental health? And I've seen you in some really temperamental state, but you seem like a lot stronger these days. You seem like a proper independent, strong woman. To the lady I met a year and a half, 2 years ago. So do you think that it's more than my past being Tony Adams, and having that sort of exposure has helped you?
I think it has, yeah. I remember when that WhatsApp group was set up, and like, I don't even know where I was. I don't even know where my head was. I was in such a bad way, but I never spoke about it. And what I learned inside is that, like, if as easy as it says, you know, just reach out, speak to someone. But for me, I class it as a fear of abandonment. Like every time I got close to someone and spoke to them about my problems, they'd just disappear, or it would get used against me. So that's why I've really struggled to kind of like express myself and reach out. But since that more than my past has come out,
yeah, as
you said, I've been more independent and I've been more confident. And I think I just needed that little push to explain my story, because like since that story's come out, I've had a lot of people just like contact me and asking me questions and asking for help and advice, and I love it. And I do think sometimes that I wish that I took the help a while back, because I did have a good career when I was from 17 to about 20, because I went to America when I was 16. And I think now that I've realised more about myself, I think that was just to escape and run away from, not only from losing my granddad, but from my parents divorcing when I was like 6 years old, and I was a very angry child, but I never accepted it. I was very in denial as well.
Got a question in here from Peter. He's asked, who stood by you to enable you to carry on your career when you came out?
Oh God, I like that question. It was Maidstone United, because 4 months into my sentence, I was kind of I was getting a bit worried that what I was going to do with my life when I got released and stuff. And I knew that I weren't going to drink, but I knew that if I didn't keep myself busy, then drink would kind of be an option. So when I was at Downview, I wrote to 10 teams in Kent because that's where I was going to stay. But then I did write a few teams to Essex because I was in Essex before. And Maidstone United with John Jackson, the coach, he was the first person to contact me. But where I got moved out of prisons, I didn't get that letter until 2 or 3 weeks after. So I was going in like thinking, oh God, no one's got back to me now. I'm never going to get the chance to play again. But yeah, he wrote back. He was fully understanding. I told him everything, the reasons why I was in here, what I've done, who I've played for, all that stuff. And yeah, he wrote back to me saying, look, this is our address. If you need a prison to call me, I'm more than happy to speak to them and like meet whoever I need to meet and everything. And then 2 weeks after that, once I got the clearance to go out on my own for a day, I was training with them. So that lasted 3 months. I was training with them 3 months. That was every Tuesday. And the girls were absolutely lovely. Only a few of them knew where I was and what I went through. And when I got released this time 2 years ago, I signed for them. And I managed to play half of the season. And we won the Kent Plate. That was, I think that was 2-1 against Glebe. That was a tough game, that was. But yeah, and then the second season, I was made captain. So, and I scored my first goal. And not being big-headed or anything, but it was a bit of a left-footed rocket. So I'm quite proud of that. But yeah, as I've said to John, I still keep in touch with him. And it was probably one of my hardest decisions in football to leave. Because not only did he allow me to come along and train, and despite everything that happened, he kind of put faith in me again, and he trusted me, and he gave me a second chance, and he was more like a dad figure as well, to be honest. Because when I was struggling, I'd used to send this really weird text to him. It wouldn't make sense, but he'd always ring back and be like, "Oh, are you okay?" And then we'd start getting talking, and the more he did that, the more I kind of trusted him. And yeah, he's a brilliant guy. And he said the door's always open at Maidstone anyway, so if it doesn't work out wherever I go next, then I can go back.
When you first, because we spoke privately about it, when you first decided that you was thinking about leaving, and I was shocked, to be honest, because you'd be, when you thought of Nikki Waterman, you always related it to Maidstone. So do you think that, do you think one of the reasons that was because of this this new positive independent woman that you've become since back then? Was it part of the change, part of the transition into where you want to be now? You wanted to leave the past behind and sort of find new surroundings?
A part of it is, yeah, because I always said that, like with me in my football, I'm kind of loyal to it, and I said to John that, you know what, like I think I'll be here for a while, but then I kind of just hit a brick wall, and I wasn't enjoying football again, and my mental health was really deteriorating. I couldn't reach out to the girls because I didn't think that they understood, and I wasn't as active on social media as I was. And I just thought to myself, look, I'm 30 this year, you know, and I don't, like, no disrespect to Maidstone, I don't want to be stuck at that level. And where I've got experience, where I've played quite high and overseas, I thought to myself, if I don't move now, I'm like going to be stuck here at this level. I don't think any Premier League team wants like a 35-year-old and like defender running around and not that fit and stuff. So
You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised.
Yeah, actually, saying that, when I played a team, Tainham Gunners, they had a lady that was 65 years old.
There you go. See,
yeah, she was.
You were just young up there.
It was shocking, wasn't it?
You still got time in your time.
I think I've got a good another 20 years in me, actually.
There you go.
Oh, 20. So what's the plans for when you finally give up? What's the plan? Have you thought about coaching badges, or have you done your coaching badges, or is it something that you're not interested in?
I've got a level 1. I did my level 1 ages ago. I'd love to have my own little team, you know, my own little like under 10s or under 11s or something. But coaching is something I've been thinking about getting into, because as someone said the other day, like, you're not going to be able to play for the rest of your life.
Yeah, it's definitely the next best thing.
Just lastly, is there any sort of advice that you've passed to younger you from all the experiences that you've learned? No, over the years.
I should really, shouldn't I? I think it's because you put me on the spot. I think what I've learned over like the last year and a half is that I used to be really scared, to be honest, because I was afraid that it would upset people, and I always used to be scared of what people thought of me. But other people's opinions is nothing to do with me. It's just something that they're going to get here in, God knows, it's been a year and a half. Yeah, I've been out for 2 years, and I didn't think that I'd be where I am now. Like, I've got relationships back. I've got my own little flat. I've been captain for 2 years at Maidstone. I did a little podcast with Tony, so everything's all kind of flowing. And sometimes I do think that I don't deserve all this good stuff because of all the bad stuff I did. But I've realised that, you know, it's okay, like, not to be okay, but at the same time it's okay to be really happy, you know. And I'm quite happy with where my life is at the moment. I just want this COVID to finish because I'm so desperate to get out and play football on the pitch.
Yeah. And you're looking for a club now as well, right? So if anyone wants to get in contact with you, you know, sign you up. Looking for a 30-year-old 2.5.
I'm currently, I'm 30 this year. I'm good in the air. I'm left-footed. I think that's kind of all you really need, isn't it?
Yep.
I didn't really sell that well.
I'll sign you.
Just send him the rocket video. Just send him the rocket that he scored, and then that'll do the talking
I've
for you.
made sure that's pinned on my Twitter so everyone can see.
There you go. That's the first thing that they see. Now, oh, she's got a good left peg. Cool. Right, we'll sign her up. We're all in the same boat, aren't we? You know, like the coaches, the players, the refs. This is the longest I've not played football, and I've noticed that I've taken it for granted when I was younger.
Yeah.
Well, Nikki, thank you for joining us. I really enjoyed listening to your story. Really appreciate it. Really do. And again, if there's anything that you need from us, I think the only thing that we can provide apart from a team is obviously advice. But even Coveys got a few contacts as well, so you never know. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, just keep positive, Nick. Just keep progressing. Keep focusing forward. Yeah, you're a good person. And good things happen to good people. So just keep focusing forward, stay positive, and keep improving yourself. Keep smiling.
I will do. Thanks, guys. Thanks for letting me come on.
No worries. Anytime.
Thank you.
See you later.
Bye.
Here we go.
It's such a, you know, she's come on so much over the last couple of years. You know, it's just that's a lot to take in, for a young lady.
No, it is indeed.
And to be where she is today, she's done wonders. To be fair, she's done wonders.
Yeah, and just want to see her progress as well. Like just listening to briefly to her story, you really want her to progress. And obviously, once it comes out of lockdown, once we all come out of lockdown, just hit the ground running. We've got our third guest waiting in the wings, so we'll bring him in. Here he is.
Oh, are we, gents? All right.
Good. How are we doing, Aaron?
Yeah, doing well. What a story, by the way. What a tale that was. Fantastic to listen to that.
Nah, for sure, man. We've had two good stories. In fact, we had Sergio Torres on earlier.
Yeah, so I see Bill's message on Twitter this morning about watching the Unknown Torres on Amazon. Funny enough, the missus hasn't bitten on wanting to watch that tonight, so I might have to watch that solo.
Just let her chill, and you just watch it. That's
yeah,
it.
might just run a bath and buy myself half hour.
So, Aaron, massive experienced goalkeeper, still playing now with Martin. I don't know if is that still going with South Park, or what's happened now?
I played. I mean, Nikki mentioned it about mental health and the position she was in. I mean, obviously, it's a completely different scope with what happened with her, but I had issues in my personal life for a variety of reasons and took some time out at the start of, I can't even remember, with COVID taking over. But well, I left Hamwell. I played like 50 games for Hamwell, and I took some time out. And then I did it I shouldn't have done, but I was in a bad place and didn't realise how much my football helped me.
Yeah.
So I played a couple of games for Martin at South Park, played for Ashford briefly last season, and then this season sort of step 5 with Alsford and Tadley. Just trying to balance that with obviously being a teacher, being a private tutor during COVID as well. Just found it really difficult, if I'm honest, to do the travelling, but it's been good. It's been, I mean, like Nikki mentioned it there, and I'm sure everyone else has. I just want to kick a football. I kicked a football in my garden today, and it just felt great.
training to come on the show. You just done a little bit.
Yeah, literally had to get myself in the right mind frame. I've been sat here all evening being nervous.
I feel nervous.
I tell you what, you've been spinning a lot of plates, haven't you? You obviously you play football, you coach, you're a teacher. Obviously, you got your goalkeeping glove business.
Yeah, trying to keep my sort of the fingers in all sorts of pies.
Yeah.
Really. I mean, my teaching's my bread and butter. I went to uni, did my PE teaching, got my degree, transferred into maths for my sins, and then alongside that, I'm a head of year, so I do the head of year stuff and the maths.
Right.
Play the football on the side, which really does help with the engagement of the children. Allows me to tutor on the side in my spare time, and then I run the A1 goalkeeping sort of parallel with my football. So it's kind of sort of about putting your life in boxes, and I think that's been really useful. I mean, I work with a guy called Mark Watson, who's a goalkeeping coach, UEFA qualified, probably tip top, probably the best guy I've ever worked with, and he always said you've got to compartmentalise, put your life in boxes. And I think that this lockdown's really allowed me to kind of do that. I mean, I can focus on my job, I can focus on everything that comes with it, and it's been a real kind of like refresher in terms of getting everything sorted.
Yeah.
Now, Aaron, as a keeper, I'm hearing a couple of rumours, mate. I'm hearing that you've got a bit of a temperament. What's that about? I heard you got more cards than Christmas, mate. What's going on?
So, if I speak, I'm in big trouble. No, it's a mad one, because I obviously have to preach to my kids when I'm being a professional that you can't do this, you can't do that. But on a Saturday, I think I've got 15 bookings or something for over the last couple of weeks. It's either time wasting or dissent, or it's not my finest claims to fame, but you've hit me there.
I'm picturing you like the Meme Machine goalkeeper. Remember watching Meme Machine? Just coming out
go into that sort of thing. I think most people would say it, and I think like Bill will probably do the same. I mean, when you play, it's your release, it's your way out, and I don't condone how I let it out, but when I'm playing, I'd get into that kind of zone, like you say, that sort of Meme Machine zone, and you might say a couple of things that temperament's something I've worked very hard on as I've got older, but certainly the last couple of seasons I've been hitting the pocket quite a few times. The brown envelope's been a little bit lighter on a Saturday evening.
Listen, you can only be goody two shoes throughout the week so much. You know what I mean? You've got to have some sort of release.
I've got to be a professional teacher. I've got to be. It's the 4-hour period I get on a Saturday to
exactly.
You know what? Exactly that. You've hit it now on the head there, Clint. Because what it is, you're teaching all throughout the week. You're being all Mr. Nicey. All the kids are driving you up the wall, and then obviously Saturday is your release.
You've got, especially when you've got the kids, you've got kids of your own, and you're trying so hard to bite your tongue. It's
Just let it out. Just let it out.
Absolutely, just let it all out. And some poor guy who's wearing Sondico boots running the line normally gets the brunt of it.
So when did the goalkeeper glove business sort of start? The idea, is that something that you've always wanted to do, or
Yeah, I mean, I've always wanted to do it, and it was a case of being in a financially stable position to do it, and I did it a couple of years ago, and it's been very stable. I mean, we've got some very loyal customers. The idea was to just try and Sergio Romero, that plays for Manchester United, I noticed that he was wearing his own gloves and basically doesn't sell them, and that's what I started off doing. I started creating gloves that only I wore. And then as I started getting a bit more comfortable with them, I started sharing them with people on social media, and there was sort of an outlet for it. It's been really useful. It's been quite a nice little spinner on the side. It's been really nice getting in touch with my creative side in terms of designing and that. We would say we've got links with Newcastle Town up north. We've got links with a couple of coaching companies. So yeah, it's been really good to kind of give back to like the Grassroots, which is obviously not an endorsement of Grassroots TV, but in that sense, giving back to the younger kids. We keep our prices under £30 for that reason, to try and make them accessible. I'm just wearing a bit of merchandise now on the side just so I can plug it.
What's your website? What's the website?
Website is under construction at the moment. It's just down at the minute. We're A1 goalkeeping goalkeeping A1 on Twitter, and we're A1 goalkeeping 20 on Instagram. So yeah, we've got a few bits in the pipeline. We're releasing the merchandise that I've got on today. In the next couple of days, we're just waiting for the photo shoot that we did today to be all edited and uploaded, and hopefully we'll be able to do that. But the landscape's changed. The last year's been a hard one with COVID and stuff, but we get through, and we work quite closely with other companies in a similar position to try and make sure things stay affordable. I mean, I coach quite a lot of young goalkeepers who wear them as well, and that was the general idea, to try and give back to the local clubs in my area. I mean, I live in Hampshire, so a lot of sort of Aldershot towns young keepers wear them. Sort of the Farnborough youth set up, quite a lot of those keepers wear them. So just trying to give back to the clubs that helped me as a kid as well. It's been really nice seeing sort of the response from parents and keepers alike.
Yeah, and your career. So you've had quite a few clubs. What was your main sort of? What was the main club? You know,
I'll say. I mean, anyone that knows me would say I define myself by. You said it there. Sort of a journeyman, but defined by kind of two spells at two clubs. So 60 appearances for Farnborough at step 3 and step 4. And I played, I think it was 2018, 2019. I played every game for Hanwell as well. Before the personal circumstances took hold that I've mentioned. Playing for Farnborough was the best thing I did. I got in touch with Spencer Day on the Monday as an off chance. Texted him kind of out of the blue. He said this was on a Monday. They had a trial game on the Wednesday. I played in against Kingstonian, and then I started against Wingate and Finchley on the Saturday, and kept them up despite the point deduction. But we were demoted because of financial irregularity.
Yeah,
and the following season, I think I played 30 games. Got a really bad injury and missed the playoffs, which was heartbreaking, really. Didn't play the last 10 games. I got a really bad. I had 8 stitches in my knee. My defender stamped on me, which wasn't great.
Your own defender?
Yeah, I come for a cross. I come for a cross for a crowd of people across the box, and defender and attacker both stood on my leg, and I've got sort of 8 stitches in my thigh, and I've still got a massive like V gash in my leg, which is always quite good. Did that, then left, and I came back at the end of the following season when they were in the Southern Premier, and made another sort of 10 appearances. And then they had the season at Hanwell where I won Supporters Player of the Year. But I mean, playing with Chris Moore and Wayne Carter there, two of the best guys you'll ever meet in football. Chris and Wayne deserve all the success they get there. They do things the right way. They treat their people the right way. I mean, I follow their results, Hanwell's and Farnborough's, more than the team that I support in anyway. But I always look out for them, and I think, Bill, you'll know as in your experiences in football that you never forget the way people treated you and the way you get treated.
Yeah.
And I think as I've got older, I've realised that football's not about what you know; it's who you know. And if you're treated in the correct way, or you treat people in the correct way, you don't burn those bridges, and you leave in the right way, or you move on in the right way. There's no hard feelings.
Yeah.
And I think that as I've got older, that's something I've massively realised. I mean, I don't harbour any ill will to any club or any person I've worked with anymore. You let that go as you get older. And if anything, the last year has taught me that you just want to enjoy it. You just want to, because it could be gone. It could be gone like that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly what it's taught me as well this year. You meet so many people in football, and it could just, the friendships could last forever. So and then I think what I've learned is that the ones that you're weary about and that you fall out with, just bin them off.
Yeah, you harbour that resentment. I mean, I've had a couple of issues with. I mean, it happens over the time. The amount of time you end up playing and managing, it happens. where I've harboured that resentment and I've let it sort of fester and I've been petty about it.
Yeah.
But you know what? As I've got older and sort of a bit more kind of different responsibilities, parent and stuff like, you think it's not worth my time. I don't wish you any ill will. Like, I disagree with everything, things you did, or disagree with things you said, but it's happened. Like, I'm not gonna. I'm nearly 30 years old now. Do you know what I mean? There's no point in me harbouring that towards you. It doesn't gain anything. It's wasted energy.
Yeah.
That's it. But I mean, to ask you, Aaron, as a goalkeeper, what's one of the main or a couple of the main things that really piss you off as a goalkeeper? Because I always think like being a goalkeeper is a mad position to play anyway.
Yeah.
But you must get so annoyed by certain little things. I just want to hear it from your point.
I don't know if we've got enough time. No, I'll tell you what. The one thing that really does bug me, and this is a generic club kind of thing. They try and say to you that a goalkeeper is really important. We want to invest in the goalkeeper and stuff, and that's fine. But then they don't have a goalkeeping coach. Yeah. And I'll turn up on a Wednesday night or a Thursday or a Tuesday night on a rainy AstroTurf or a rock hard sand Astro or a bog out the back with floodlights and stand there and do all the stuff that the players do. And then one goes past me in the top corner and they're like, well, why have you not saved it? I'm like, because I've just done 500 meters worth of running. I'm tired. Like, I'm not equipped for that sort of stuff. No, that's the main one. When I'm warming up in the goal before the game and people want to shoot while I'm warming up, it drives me balmy. Like, it absolutely. I'm taking my crosses or doing my goal kicks and people will be shooting and I'm like, are you serious? It's a real stickler. The other one is not having match balls to warm up with. I am literally a proper diva with that. Like, it might sound crazy, but you'll see Prem keepers do it as well. Before the game, they'll go out and they'll fill the ball. And I'm sure, Bill, you've come across keepers that do it before the game. They're really superstitious. I'm always like it. If you get a £10 ball from Sondico and then you play with a £20 ball from All Sport or Nike or Mitre, they're chalk and cheese. They're two completely different textures. They're two completely different. And people think I'm crazy when I try and explain this to them. And I'm like, I'm not. But no, like people saying that catch it, kick it. That's all you've got to do. Catch it, kick it. And I'm like, yeah, fair enough. I do to a certain degree, but I've still got to actually be in a position to catch it.
So what do you think about before a game when the coach stands on the edge of the box and he goes, right, everyone line up. I'm going to start ruining
I don't do it. I point blank refuse. It's as I've got when I was younger, like you're coming through and you're 19, 20, whatever, and you're a reserve keeper or you're in the mix and you're pushing for number one. You do it because obviously you want to try and impress. But before a game, psychologically, as I've got older, my last thing is I want to finish my warm up on a good save. As soon I do a bit of shooting with the coach or whoever's warming me up, and I'll finish on a save, and I'll go in the right headspace, and I'm there and I'm ready. The last thing I want is a striker to bang 4 strikes past me for him 10 yards out unopposed. It does me no favours. It demoralises me.
Yeah.
And they're fist bumping and celebrating. I'm like, you're 10 yards out unopposed. You should score every time.
Yeah.
So now I've got to that point where I just go, no, I'm not going in.
Put one of subs in.
Yeah, exactly. Put one of subs in. I mean, if you're lucky to have a young goalkeeper with you, you put the young lad in. And if you've got a goalkeeping coach, the goalkeeping coach will go in. I mean, there are times where necessities dictate that you have to. But psychologically, a striker goes in thinking the last thing he's done before a game is he's scored a goal, and it's in his head that he's scored. In my head, it's that I've conceded. It's a total psychological focus, and as you get older, you start to realise those little things, those little sort of psychological things really do have an effect.
Talking about psychological, you got any superstitions before a game?
Yeah, I've always got to be the last one out, and I won't do my gloves up until the whistle's gone. I don't know why. I will put my gloves on. And the whistle, like the referee will go, yeah, and I'll put my hand up, and as the whistle goes, I'll strap my gloves, and I don't know why that is. I couldn't tell you. I tried to always listen to Enter Sandman by I can't remember who it is. He sings it now. Enter Sandman, the song. You probably know it.
I know the song, yeah.
Yeah, I always listen to it, and I don't know. I have no idea why. It was a song my dad used to listen to when I was younger. It's a song that I've kind of grown up listening to before games, and now I always seem to get into a good headspace listening to it, even if it's in the car before I get out.
And do you, as a goalkeeper, I've seen it a few times, when your opposite goalkeeper makes a save, do you do that when you get his attention? Do you like?
Yeah,
Well,
I don't know. It's like a
it's like a keeper's union thing, isn't it? It's like a keeper's union thing. If I was going back for a corner to defend a corner and the opposition's forward had just gone 1-on-1 and he's tried to dink the keeper and he's missed, I ain't going to go back and go, unlucky.
It's mad. The goalkeeping union doesn't make any sense to me. It's an absolute
You're all
mad...
nuts. You're all nuts. That's why.
Yeah, I'm in a WhatsApp group called the Goalkeeper Network, and people are going to think I'm crazy for saying this. They're really big on Twitter as well. They've got their own glove brand down. They're doing magnificent.
Yeah.
But I think we've got 180 keepers from across the country in it, like at different levels, man. And it's mad. I went in after a game when we drew 0-0 with Uxbridge a couple of years ago, or we beat them 1-0, I think. And I went in there and the first thing I did was open the group and said I kept a clean sheet. And I could see like 17, 18 people that are like typing clean sheet. And you just want to congratulate people. And then I think, are strikers like this? Are midfielders like this? They're not. It's weird.
Might be. I don't know. I won't.
It's so bizarre. Like, yeah, goalkeeper make a save and you just think, yeah, keeper, and you clap at the other end. And it's like, I don't even know this kid. Like, I've never met him before.
Opposition centre forwards just get a 40-yard rocket to sit at the bar, and I'm going back and tapping him on the arsehole and saying, unlucky.
Exactly. You just wouldn't know it, do you? It's yeah, we're an odd bunch.
Lastly, one for me, Aaron. What's your best moment in your career to date?
Getting promotion with Farnborough, no doubt about it. It was great. Obviously, I wasn't part of the playoffs because the injury, but being promoted with a club that I used to go and like watch when I was a kid. I mean, I used to bounce and watch quite a lot of the Farnborough games when they were at home. Getting promoted with them was awesome. Being part of that. My best mate, who is my next door neighbour now, we both played for them. We both sat on the bench and obviously in the final, but we both he got on. So to be promoted with your local club and stuff was really, really good. I mean, I gave my medal away to a student at school who's going through a difficult time, which I don't regret because I think it done him the world of good. But I look back on it and I think, I wish I had that medal. Kept my players, my supporters player of the year from Hamwell. That was quite a highlight because obviously it's the people that paid to watch you play. So that's something that I cherish. That was a good season for me. But if you're talking the one moment, I think that's it. That the promotion with Farnborough was really special, and we had some awesome players there. We had Curo. I mean, I know you had Curo on last week, who's just unreal. I think he's 42, and I played with him. Best player I've ever played with, bar none. We had Scott Donnelly, who's at Hayes and Yedding. We had Dennis Ollie, who played with us, who'd been at Gillingham and Grays and QPR. We had Sam Pearce, who played at Gosport. The team we had that year was an absolute joke, and we lost quite convincingly to a Royston team who were just frightening. But yeah, the thought of being promoted with them was awesome, and the fact we got to do it at Farmers Ground with the fans was a moment that I'll always remember.
Brilliant, cool. Well, thank you for coming on, mate.
No, it's been great. I mean, love what you guys do. Love what you're trying to do with the variety of show. I can't help but feel I've not been quite as intriguing as Emil Heskey, but you know, everyone's got their own tit for tat.
Exactly so. That. Everyone's contributing, mate. Everyone's got their own little.
Yeah. Well, thanks for having me on, guys. I do appreciate it.
No, anytime. I appreciate it coming on, Aaron.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Top man. Cheers, Aaron.
Bye.
Oh, that's it. That's a wrap, mate.
Done it in time as well.
Yeah, I know. Oh, dear. No, really good guest, man. Really good stories as well. Really appreciate it, man. So, I hope everyone in the comment section enjoyed it as well. Thank you for listening. And if you're watching it back, as always, make sure you give us a like, follow, even drop a comment in there as well. And
tune in next week. Don't forget to tune in next week. Another big show next week.
Yes, couple good guests next week. Trust me.
3 big guests. 3 big guests already booked in, already penciled in. So you know we're bringing them every week now.
There we go. So again, make sure you tune in for next week.
Thank you, mate.
See you guys soon. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.